Good morning. I am here somewhere around the Reading area, Berkshire, and got a new little bike that I am riding at the moment. So I'm trying it out a bit, see how it goes. But I just want to give everyone a quick update of what this bike is and how I came about to find it. Firstly, I sort of were looking for an electric cycle to get to work and back, and then we're looking around for some options, so I went down to a electric bike specialist down in Farnham. Yeah, the service were great. The guys had a wide range of bikes there, and but it was always the problem that the bike needed to be able to travel about like say about 18-mile round trip, and because of the current law in the UK, the electric bikes is only allowed up to about 15.5 miles per hour. That's where it stops, and that sort of classes it as an electric bike. And then anything higher than that will go into the moped range. This is as far as I understand. So went down to the guys in Farnham. I tried the Go Cycle, really nice bit of kit. And then I looked at all the other bikes there. I test drove a few of the really top end Bosch systems and Yamaha systems, and all were very nice. But you've got so much power, and you get up to your 15.5 miles per hour so quickly that that it's sort of like a bit of a so what now, where sort of like the fun ends. I think for mountain biking and commuting, where it's a fairly nice ride, what do you call it, on the road, and maybe in a cycle lane, those bikes will be perfect. My ride currently is about 8 miles, so just over 8 miles one way, and it's a stretch of fast road, so not motorway speeds, but it's a 50 mile an hour zone. People usually drive at 60, the usual story, and there's no real space between the cars and the bikes, so it was always a little bit of a hairy moment when the cars come flying past you. Now you probably will get used to it, but I just don't like it like that in the early mornings when I'm trying to get to the office in one piece. So I was looking around for something else, and I found this company called Stag Motorcycles. They're close to Newbury. And the guys had this electric bike. Now, firstly, I thought it would be something like a pedal bike, and yes, you do get a pedal kit for it, so it looks like a mountain bike, but yeah, it's more like a moped. So I thought to myself, let's go and try this thing out, and man, what a surprise! Got on the bike. Well, first met the guy Steve, really nice guy, down to earth, good service, good communication, all the stuff that I really enjoy of a dealer. And then again, he's trying to get the people excited about the bike, so they can buy the bikes and start using the bikes, and it can be more talked about, really. So this bike is a pure electric bike. It goes up to 30 miles an hour in restricted mode. There is ways to get around the restriction, and then it goes up to about 46 miles per hour. But for the current law, if the road version, because there's two versions, the road version goes up to 30 miles an hour, so it's classed as the moped, and then the off-road version goes to the full 45 miles per hour. That's as far as I understand from what I've read and whatever. So and it's a fully electric bike, and it gives you between, I would say, safely about 30 miles. depends on how you ride it, but I think I can probably get about 40 miles out of it easily, and they did say about 40 to 60 miles, but again, it all depends on your weight and where you ride, and the types of terrain and the speed and all that stuff. This is all standard stuff for any electric bike or even any petrol bike. If you on the motorway at its specific speed where it's really optimal, then it's going to give you great fuel consumption. But if you hammer it on the motorway or always pull away at max revs, then it's not going to be as economical. But yeah, so I took the bike out for a ride. I rode the road version, and I rode Steve's own version, the sort of like the motocross style version, and man, what a lot of fun. The torque from such a little bike was just amazing. It's and then again, it's dead quiet. This one is the one with the new the new controller. So the new controller is more efficient. The pickup is quicker, and it's much quieter, and it's got the regen braking, all that stuff. But more on that stuff later. So let me show you guys around this little bike. So here we go. So this is the little bike I've been riding. I actually bought this one because my excitement couldn't be tamed, really. But really nice bit of kit. And look at it. It's the same size as a full-size downhill mountain bike. It's got all the parts of a mountain bike. So anything that goes wrong, it's very easy to replace, very easy to work on, and it's very cheap to replace the parts. It's not like a motorbike. It's got normal mirrors. This is the road version, so it's sort of locked down to 30 miles per hour. And let me show you around the bike. So it's got some nice off-road tires. These are 70, 100, 19-inch tires, and it's CSTs. And then that's the rim spec. And as you can see, it's a mountain bike rotor with some. That's the Sur-Ron brake, and then it's got a DT. What's it? I think it's a DNM shock on this one, upside down. So this is the newer shock. So as you can see, that's upside down shocks, but this is typical mountain bike shocks. And again, so on the front, because this is the road version, it's got the headlight on the front. It's got the indicators. It's got a little mud guard that you really need. Going to the side, it's got hydraulic discs, works really well, easy to maintain again. This thing does have a little sensor in here, as far as I understand from the forums, that if you take that sensor out, then you can twist the throttle without, and using the brake at the same time without the brake cutting out or the motor cutting out. So currently, if you brake, it cuts the power, so you can slow down. So it's the extra help. So that's going on that side. It's got the little headlight, indicators, and this is the company I bought it from, Stag Motorcycles. So if anyone is interested in excellent service, go and speak to Steve at Stag. There's a little clip that you open up here, and then you can get to the battery. That's the battery indicator, and then that's your little dash. So on this side you've got your on-off, normal twist. So this is brakes on this side and brakes on that side. We also have the EP and the Sport. So EP is for economy, so that does the regen braking. If you press Sport, the regen braking does not work. Normal indicators, normal horn, that all works fine. So just switch that on so you can see. It's a Sur-Ron, 96% battery, total miles, and so on. It's got the headlights and all this lovely stuff. Works all good. So the shocks are also adjustable. There you can do your rebound, and there you can do your preload. Yeah. The seat, I can tell you, the seat is a mountain bike seat hard. It's comfortable for my journey, but if you're going to be if you're going to spend long days in the saddle, sitting, not riding off-road where you've got a combination of sitting and standing, your ass is going to hurt. But for the purposes of what I'm using it, this is perfect. You can get the guys to redo this and put some harder foam in, so it's a little bit more comfortable. So at the back as well, it's a D&M shock. It's also fully adjustable. That's the specs. I think it's about 8 inches of travel, front and rear. So that's quite nice. The linkages are absolutely awesome. There you can see again, if you want to hop on their website, stagmotorcycles.co.uk, go and speak to Steve. He's very helpful, and he can sort you out with a demo ride or any questions if you're interested in it. Again, it's a sprocket. You can change this sprocket. I think, as far as I can see, is that a 48 tooth sprocket? Again, you can change this to be larger, smaller. If you want more top end, if you want more torque, you can change that up easily. Going to the rear, you've got your indicator. You've got a little cover for any muck that gets thrown up. Then going to this side again, this stuff can all be taken off. If you really want to take it off and try and fit this somewhere else underneath, that will probably make the bike look much nicer. But this is the spec for the UK, so you need to sort of have this look with the wires and the brake light and all that stuff. Maybe later this might change. But again, there's your brake system on this side. And again, Steve was, because this is a second-hand bike, he fitted a few other bits to it. This is carbon, nice little extended tail, so there's less kick up the back. And this stuff as well, just to protect the shock at the rear, and again, just to protect the all the mechanics from being destroyed. So going down to this side, the little kickstand, and there's the motor. As far as I know, it's a I'll have to check what the specs is of the motor, but it's really powerful. It's really powerful. And then that's your battery going up here. This can be taken out of the bike if you want to charge it inside the house. There's a little charge socket. It takes about 3.5 hours to fully charge. Steve has also fitted a little carbon bash plate for me. So that's quite nice to have as well, just to protect the motor and to keep that side clean. And then this is the main brain. This is the controller, the speed controller, basically. It's like a RC car. This controls the motor, and this is the new version with a big X on. This does the regen braking, and I think they've changed it from square wave to now, I don't know, I think it's called round wave, or yeah. And it's much more quieter, so the really nice bit of gear. So yeah, so that's it. Really nice little bike. And the thing is, this bike weighs, I think, about 49 kilogram. And with all mountain bike parts, it is nice and easy to maintain. The guys put a bigger wheel on the front. I've seen some guys putting like a super motard tire so for proper road riding. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride these tires till they are finished, and then I'll get a tire that is a little bit more, what do you call it, dual purpose, dual sport. And Steve can also help you out with some different tires and different bits and bobs. And he's based in Newbury, and it's really nice place to go and visit. But yeah, so this is it. This is called the Sur-Ron L1E-X. It is, I think, new. It's 4,000, I think 4,200 for the off-road version, and 4,500 for the road version, because you need to have all the indicators and all the other bells and whistles on it. Yes, it is a lot of money, but for my commuting journey, not having any maintenance and something that's really small makes it perfect. So as you can see, this thing has got a different handlebars on. So it's, again, because it is mountain bike gear, you can replace it with whatever you feel like, and change the head stem, change the shocks if you want a better shock. This thing has also got a nice little feature. It's a steering lock, so if you need to lock the bike, you can lock it with the steering lock. Another little thing that I found out here in the UK is if you have your bike insured at one company, you can't use your no claims bonus at another company. You need to move your no claims bonus from one company to the other company. So you can't have it active at two companies. But the funny thing is, it's a no claims bonus, or a no claims years. I've got more than 10 or 15 years no claims, but it can only apply to one insurance company at a time. What a joke. But oh well. That's a fight for another day. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. If there's any questions about the bike, I'm still figuring stuff out, learning how the whole thing works. I basically checked the tires this morning and inflated that to 30 psi to see how that goes. I'm going to go for a little ride here down in the countryside and see how the bike performs, and then I'll probably go for another ride later on, and I'll give you guys a feedback. But if there's any questions and stuff about the bike, you've got any tips for changes, and any tips for upgrades, any changes for tires, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear some feedback. So speak to you guys again. Cheers.